I. It is I, John underscore Silva underscore, your favorite streamer. And today we have Sacha Ketchu asking, hello, John. Hi, chat. Hi, chat. Say hello. It's a decode question. How an artist can do a lot of characters for a project or something, but they still have a unique feel. We can easily say it's the same world. I'm not speaking about style. I know Dave Raposa has a very unique style. I chose those images because it's obvious. I'm speaking more about the feel, color palette, or mood, or something like that. All right. So I'm not going to be painting for this episode because this episode is mainly about pointing things out. You are right that what you mentioned in your question, the feel, color palette, general mood, are all tied in to make it feel like it's in the same world. The very first thing to make designs that are part of the same world is the first thing. I'll write some notes here just so I can say that I've done something other than just talk. First point is rules. Now, you need rules when you're creating characters for the same world, because if you're just drawing something and you don't know where they live in, then you don't know how they're gonna look like. You know what I mean? Like, is it, for example, you could, in a world where, for example, let's say metal doesn't exist, right? How are your characters gonna look like? So with rules, you want, that's point one. Second point could be, I forgot the word. You need to create, it's not, the word is not problems. It's more like, restrictions. It's the word I was looking for. Restrictions. Okay, that's how you write it. To the rules, you need to add, it can't be just open, right? I guess rules could be the same as restrictions. I'm an idiot. Either way, this could be either or. There you go. Because it's pretty much the same thing. Make clear restrictions, because with restrictions, you get more creative. And that's true in anything, not just in art. Just generally speaking, when we are restricted, we get creative and try to find a solution around the problem, right? Point number two, let's move on from this. The second most important thing is shape language, or a shape design. Let's call it, I'll just type here shapes. So with shapes, I'm going to highlight repeating shapes, patterns, and I'm not just talking about like actual patterns, you know, like, well, patterns, but I'm talking about patterns that you see repeated from one character's shape to another. I'll point you out one. Let's see here. For example, the shoulder pads, shapes. These are pretty clearly defined kind of shapes. You see them repeated in two different characters, and the sub shapes within the bigger one. So within the pattern of within the shoulder pads, you have these kind of like streak looking shapes, like those. You can see he uses that a lot everywhere. Oh, and the same, let's do with a different color. So another thing that I see obvious is like the coat shapes. I'll do it in blue. So they're all kind of like wearing the same sort of now this could very well be, which I think it is, but it still applies. I think this specific image is Dave was probably exploring one character and he's given 5 variations, but it's still, it can be applied even if there was completely different characters, right? So you have here these kind of shapes for the coat. Let's just do that, outlining in the back, blah blah blah. All right. Hey, what's up, Illustrator? How are you doing? Thanks, man. Thanks for the host. So you have the coat as well. And once again, we see throughout the design, we see that pattern of that streaky looking pattern that he loves to use so much on that one. Actually, on this one, I don't see much more. Should have picked the other one. But you see it throughout other ones as well, right? As I'm pointing it out here. And so other than the shapes, I could use this example throughout everything else. The second, or point 2 to point 2 is here. Let's do a point, is a texture slash materials. So what materials exist in the world will affect the design of the characters. So in this character, there's a lot of leather and very little metal. That's absolutely important. So let's grab a pink just to show here. Like pink is leather, for example, right? Leather here. The whole gloves actually is metal. In this one, I can't quite tell because these images are small. I think it's metal. Sorry, did I say metal? I meant leather for the other guy. I think this one is leather with bits of metal. Let's do that with green. So he has kind of like bits of metal here. But the amounts of each material is important throughout. And here you have like the buckle, the buckles here has like some metal too. The way so that's pretty much it for shapes and texture. Of course, like I'm simplifying it, but the last but not least important thing, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, oh fuck, I can't. I'll just write underneath in smaller letters. The last point, in my opinion, would be how am I gonna phrase this or word this? Functionality slash technology. I'll just write here functionality slash technology of the world. This kind of ties in with rules slash restrictions. But it is important that, for example, all of the buckles here look like they're in some way or another have this kind of like technology for the buckling, right? So you see that throughout everywhere else. If you have this for most of your characters, this kind of like shapes and technology for it or functionality, the moment you add something different or more archaic, it's going to stand out, right? So this is it's a minor detail, but it helps cement. So for example, you even see that here. I don't actually know if you can see it or not on stream because bit rate and all that, but I'll blow it up here. So in this guy's shirt, he doesn't have buttons. You know what I mean? None of these have buttons nowhere. They have these little, again, buckles. Yeah, kind of, I don't know what to call these, honestly. They have these little like metal attachments, right? Instead of buttons. And you see that's everywhere else. Let me blow this guy off too. You see there? blah blah. So you have the same here, and it's it's a small detail, but I'd say it is quite important. How is the technology in the world, and try to make it all, as long as they're part of that world. Of course, if you'd have like an alien coming in, then you'd have a contrast of their technology versus yours. But as long as you're making the same, everyone in the same world, you should try to match to everyone should be kind of wearing the same kind of technology in a way or another. And honestly, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a lot more I can talk about, but the video already has been going for a while. And Glorious Badger joining in. Hi. How are you guys doing? I'm not really gonna go log off, but you guys get to see me wrapping up a Decodes. This has been the Decodes for this one. I'm not really gonna go, but I will go for the video. So dab.